everybody, welcome to Fruit of Grisaia. I've been wanting to do this visual novel for a while, especially since, well, I got it on Steam sale, so... I've been really interested in this. Now, I don't know much about the overall characters. I'm just gonna say I watched the anime. Fair enough. Please don't hate me, guys. Please don't. But, anyway, let's go ahead and see what's more about this, shall we? Oh. Alright, well, going right into it, I guess. A dead sunlight blazes down on the road, as if to declare the arrival of summer. The burning asphalt radiates heat, mixing with the scent of the tide to form a thick, muggy atmosphere. Ugh. That doesn't sound great to me. It's way too early for this kind of weather, and when the temperature is abnormally high, you're always going to get some people who lose their heads and start acting erratically. In other words, it's only natural that the police would be on the lookout for suspicious types at times like these. It was about 10 minutes ago that I realized I'd been mistaken for one of those heat-stroke adult of sorts.
名前が風見雄二。住所は山梨県大里郡。
Sweat pouring down from his forehead as he examines my license. The policeman in front of me takes a glance at the large backpack I'm carrying, then continues the background check.
山梨から来たのか、あんた。
Wow, it's interesting that they have these voiced fully. Yes, okay.
この町には何の用事で？大荷物背負ってどこかへ行く途中かい？
I told you this 10 minutes ago. I'm moving. This luggage is everything I own.
それじゃあ、引っ越し先の住所は？
Like I said, I don't have one yet. The answer's not going to change no matter how many times you ask.
引っ越し先の住所も決まっていないのに引っ越してきたっていうのかい？君、
we're apparently a suspicious type.
そろそろ本当のことを教えてよ。
Where did you come from? Where are you going? What are you planning to do there? Depending on the context, these could be fairly philosophical questions, but as far as police inquiries go, they're pretty run-of-the-mill. From their perspective, anyone wandering around without clear-cut business is by default a criminal of some sort. Let alone someone like me carrying around a conspicuous, bulky luggage. It's as good as guaranteed they'd stop me. That is their job, I suppose. Since this little scene acts as a crime deterrent through its visibility, it's not an entirely wasted effort. But unfortunately, I don't have all day to play along. I drop a glance towards the digital watch I'm wearing around my left wrist. Sorry, but I'm keeping someone waiting. I really can't spare any more time for hanging out with bored cops. A bored police force is proof that the city's at peace. Take it as a compliment. Inexplicably taking offense to my tone, the policeman clicks his tongue in irritation and tosses my license back.
じゃあ、風見さん。悪いけど、お背中の荷物の中身確認させてもらっていいかな。
I refuse.
どうして？何か見られたくないものでも入ってるの？
I mean, if it's everything
持ってない？
If it's everything we own, it would assume kitchen supplies would be in there, so yes, a knife would be in there. I don't rely on blades. Policy of mine. Look, are you really telling me to unpack all of this in one spot? It'll take an hour at least. 30 minutes just take it all out, 30 minutes to stuff it back in.
じゃあ立ち話もなんだし、警察署に行こうか。冷たいお茶ぐらい出すからさ。そこでゆっくりお話を聞かせてよ。
Oh boy. I just told you I don't have the time. I can't accept voluntary questioning. I know you can't just back down in this situation, but if I say I'll head over there myself later, could we wrap this up for now?
そんな都合のいいこと言って、そのまましらばっくれる気だろ。だったらせめて自宅の連絡先を教えてよ。
But we don't have an address. As I've explained, I'm in the middle of a move. I vacated my old place, so I don't have an address. This policeman has no logic.
まさか両親もホームレスだとは言うまい？
Where are our parents anyway? I actually never figured that out. I don't have any parents, no siblings or relatives either. They're all dead.
本当に？やっぱり何か隠してるんじゃないの？
This is going nowhere.
警察署まで来てくれれば無駄な問答をしなくて済むんだけどね。今パトカー呼ぶから少し待っててくれる？
Isn't our character like a hitman too? He's like disguised as a normal like high school student, but he's a hitman at the same time. And at least let me call the person I'm supposed to be meeting. At this rate, they'll be waiting all day.
そりゃ構わないけど。相手は誰？お友達？
I'm not going to tell you that.
言えないような相手なのか？
It's your mother. We had an appointment at the hotel tonight.
は？
Huh? I was keeping quiet out of the goodness of my heart. You dragged it out of me, so don't blame me when your parents get divorced and your happy home is shattered.
バカにしてるのか？
Oof.
え？
What? About 30 meters away from where we're talking, someone screams. A desperate cry follows within seconds. A woman sits collapsed on the street, stretching out her hand. Her high heels lie on the ground, knocked off her feet by the sudden fall. Just about halfway between us, there's a man in a flashy Hawaiian shirt running in this direction. Action lines on the screen.
警察か。
Although the thief flinches for a moment at the sight of the policeman's uniform, after a quick check for any convenient side streets, he barrels onward.
どけこら！
Brandishing the stolen bag menacingly, his hand violently gestures out of my way.
止まれ！止まりなさい！
Yeah, he's totally gonna stop, policeman. The cop's completely flustered. He's quite clearly unaccustomed to this sort of situation. While he's panicking, the distance between us and the thief shrinks with surprising swiftness.
邪魔だ！
The man runs in a straight line toward a breakthrough to freedom. I happen to be standing in the directly in the middle of this path.
どけっつってんだろうが！
As he prepares to strike with the bag, I ascertain the movement of his shoulder and arm from the first signs of motion and hit his wrist sharply just as he begins to swing. The man's arm instantly stiffens and loses all momentum. His eyes pop wide open in shock. I immediately grab the collar of the Hawaiian shirt he's wearing and firmly draw him toward me. Before the man can offer resistance to my pull, I smoothly reverse and use my body weight to shove against him. When pushed... when pushed just as they've begun to brace themselves against being pulled, anyone except a genuine expert is going to be thrown off balance. Nice shirt, where'd you buy it? Shock spreads across the man's face as his knees buckle against his will. I try to gain a chokehold using my grip on the neck of his shirt, but... The man promptly draws his head back and shifts his body to the side, preventing me from landing a hold on his neck. Although I expected as much from a glance at his build, it seems like he's somewhat experienced in judo. But, in this case, you would have been better off trying a decisive tackle. Rotating around the purse snatcher in the opposite direction of his slide, I yank his right arm upward with both hands. In one movement, I circle to his back. Oof. Oh, that does not look like the... Hope the pavement doesn't taste that good, man. Next, pull back on the opponent's wrist and elbow and pin him to the ground. This is just basic Aikido, by the way. Hey now, you've got all your priorities all wrong. Before worrying about me, you should kill the guy who sold you that shirt. It does kind of make you stick out pretty conveniently. Perhaps unconsciously, the man's now empty right hand desperately slaps at the asphalt. While holding the thief pinned, I quickly shot a look behind me. Don't just stand there. He's just surprised, like, is he doing what I'm supposed to be doing? The policeman jerks up straight in response to my angry shout, taking a pair of handcuffs from the pouch around his wrist. He runs over to restrain the criminal. The purse snatcher seems to have resigned himself to his fate, and doesn't offer any pointless resistance. He accepts his red-headed arrest for thief docilely, then sits quietly on the ground with his head hung as the policeman radios for backup. Apparently they weren't too far— wow, that's loud. That's loud. Oh! As sirens approach in no time. Please stop. Thank you. You guys will not hear how loud that is. I had the volume down on this thing too. Ah. Jesus. Okay. I'm fine. Even my audio peaked on my video recording, which never happens. Oh. Sorry about that. Thankfully you guys will have an edited version, so the audio for that will be really, really lowered. Two policemen get out of their arriving cruiser and push the criminal into the back seat. As I'm quietly watching the scene in perfect passivity... Passivity? Yeah. The policeman from earlier runs over. Still convinced we're not good? I'll pass on the letter of thanks, so how about letting me move on? Really? What do you mean regarding this incident? There's nothing about it that's really thinking about. To talk about there. Figured as much. Shaking my head in exasperation, I silently rebuked myself. I should have just left it alone. As the policeman pushes at my back, I glance at my wristwatch and informs me that I'm already 5 minutes late for my meeting. I don't even know who we're meeting with. Ooh, this is cool. Ready to talk about? Yeah, what? 30 minutes have passed since I was brought to the interrogation room, familiar as the place where criminals break into flop sweat and TV dramas. I'm sitting on a cheap foldable pipe chair, my arms folded in perfect silence. Our character's kind of supposed to be like a hidden, if I remember right. He's a hitman, but he's also like, from what I understood of him in the anime, this is probably really bad to say, he's like an government character, or at least a secret organization agent. So yeah, he probably shouldn't be talking at all. Well, this is easy dialogue for me. Instead of responding, I close my eyes, a silent statement indicating they have absolutely no intent of opening my mouth. The detective clicks his tongue in exasperation at my attitude. I've got a pretty fair idea of what he'll be doing next. The sounds of something being struck and an even louder attempt at intimidation. This is the point where a timid guy would be jumping in his seat with his eyes wide open, or maybe just staring at the floor and quivering. As for me, my eyes are still shut and my arms are still folded quietly. My mind is a total blank. I've been accustomed to adults shouting at me like this since I was a child. Following the threat stage, the next stage would be for him to grip my hair and jolt me back and forth. But I'm dealing with an official authority group here. I should get off without direct violence this time. Not to say that they won't pull out the old TV cliches and harass me by shining a desk lamp in my eyes or something of the sort. But our eyes are closed, so shining the desk light at us isn't going to do anything. I can roughly translate the detective's sigh. Goddamn kids these days. I gently opened my eyes in order to sneak a look at his disgusted face. The detective sitting in front of me seems to be challenging the Guinness World Records for the most dramatic asymmetry between the left and right sides of the human mouth. Or maybe he's just scowling. When I let out a snort of laughter in response to the unexpectedly pleasant sight, the detective scratches his head violently and glares at me. It won't gain you anything, but you won't lose anything either, except your time. I turned my gaze to the clock on the wall of the sweat box. An hour has already passed since the scheduled time for my meeting. The detective strikes the desk with excellent comic timing. The best part is the way he knocks his ashtray off the table every time he does this. His tone distinctively fed up, he stoops down to pick up the plastic tray off the floor. Kazami Ryuji, occupation, student.
お前は一体何者なんだ。
Kazami Yuji, occupation, student.
なんだそりゃ。警察に捕まったらそれしか言うなって誰かに言われてんのか。お前どっかのテロリストか。
Kazami Yuji, occupation. We're gonna drive him insane.
もういい。黙れ。
And he knocked over the ashtray again. Good job, buddy. First it's say something, now it's shut up. Talk about hard to please. Arcebius. Detective scowls yet again and scratches his head. Flakes of dandruff drift grandly through the air. Based on his thoroughly wrinkled suit and heavy stumble, I'd say he hadn't been home in days.
なあなあなあ。頼むよ。こっちの事情も考えてくれよ。
You guys are the ones that brought him here. He doesn't want to cooperate, he doesn't want to do anything. Another sigh. It's enough to make me want to heave one myself. Because we both take our work seriously, it seems like we're stuck going around in circles.
さっきのひったくり事件の取り調べも進まないし、厄介なの捕まえたよまったく。
Makes so much for dropping that on our lap, by the way. Hey, you guys are supposed to be doing your job. Just as we roughly complete this exchange of one-sided bitterness and mutual glaring, there's a well-timed knock at the door and the sound of it being unlocked.
はい。ああ、お疲れ様です。
A slight, plump, elderly detective enters the room. Given the respectful tone of the detective I've been chatting with, he's probably a superior of some sort.
どうかしましたか。はい。
Are we getting relieved now?
ええ。
After a quick glance in my direction, the elderly detective whispers something into the young man's ear. Before long, the younger detective turns toward me with a decidedly nonplussed expression.
釈放だとお疲れさん。
Thank you for your cooperation. Kazumi Yuji, occupation, student. Why now, all of a sudden?
それはこっちから聞いてくれ。それじゃあな。
Alright then. With those parting words, I keep saying to say younger and young, and I keep doing that wrong. The young detective leaves the room. The elderly detective watches him go and faces me with a greasy smile.
いやー、すみませんでしたね、風見さん。こちらに連絡が行っていなかったようで、先ほどようやっとあなたの身元保証人の方と連絡が取れた次第でして。
The detective stares at me with eyes like a dead fish.
市ヶ谷の関係者なら最初からそう言っていただかないと。
If you'd known I was from Ichigawa from the start, wouldn't you have thrown me in jail, stripped me naked, and sprayed me down with a hose?
まさかまさかご冗談を。うちは天下の桜だもんですよ。
Oh, okay. Just to let you know, I'm nothing but a student. My work at Ichigaya is only a part-time cleaning job.
掃除ですか。なるほどね。うまいことおっしゃいますな。さすがはインテリさんの集まりだ。
It gets. In response to my words, the detective twists his mouth into something vaguely resembling a smile.
いやー、ですからね。そちらさんもそんなご事情ならば、もっと早く言っておいていただければよかったんですが、ご存知かと思いますが、上があれですから、いろいろとややこしくてね。
Sure. Sokka has been drifting from every pore of his body. The detective treats me with transparently insincere courtesy. He's perfectly civil on the superficial level, but the atmosphere in here is growing increasingly unpleasant. The younger detective from before, hard-ass that he was, seems infinitely preferable. Did you inquire to Ichigaya about me?
いいえね。あなたのお名前をデータベースで検索させたんですがね。
Oh.
検索している最中に電話が鳴りまして、受話器を上げてみたら防衛省の特別の機関からのお電話でして、
I thought so.
うちの犬がそちらで保護されていないかと聞きましてね。
Dog. Alright, fair enough.
いや、驚きましたよ実際。うちは保健所じゃありませんからね。
Oh my gosh. Said you found my owner and confirmed that my leash is properly attached. I should be able to leave now, right?
どうぞご自由に。ああ、そうそう。 あなたが今度転入なさる学園の学園長からも
I think this is
こ
the
ちらに連絡がありましたよ。
I believe this is the person we were supposed to meet, and I don't even know how long ago. Is that so?
なかなかいらっしゃらないからと近隣の署に片っ端から連絡を入れたそうですよ。
Well, that's good.
おかげでうちの所長も会議の途中で電話に引っ張られたようでして散々痛みを言われたと言っておりました。
I don't look bad at your department. Where's my backpack?
お預かりした荷物は玄関に出してありますのでそちらで。なんでしたらうちの車でお送りしましょうか。
You're not getting funds for public taxes in order to chauffeur bums like me, are you? I'll walk. After I'm urged out the door by the old man, the young detective appears from the rear, carrying the backpack they'd taken from me earlier.
とんでもない重さだな、これは。一体何が入ってるんだ?
Like he said, everything he owns. Bit of a tough question. I guess you could say my life.
ギャグだとしたら出来は悪いぞ。
That's supposed to be a gag. I wouldn't quit your day job. That wasn't really what I was going for.
まあ、そんなことはどうでもいい。ちょっと。
Dropping the backpack next to me, the detective lets out a slight sigh. Thanks for lugging it out here. Pretty heavy, isn't it?
仕事で柔道やってるような人間に言う言葉じゃないな。田舎の警察とはいえ、その辺は仕込まれてる。
Oh, really? Interesting. They learn judo for work? True. Guess that's natural for policemen. Sorry. The detective smiles wryly.
なあ、お前、埋め立て地の学生なんだってな。
At that landfill academy? Oh, that's what they called it? I'm wearing the school uniform. You can see that at a glance.
制服が着られているって感じだがな。
You've been dressed up in it. Oh, boy. He claps my shoulders. We pass each other.
気をつけてな。いろんな意味で。
With those parting words, he heads back into the police station. Guess I don't have to make a convincing student yet. I guess I don't make a convincing student yet. I'm wearing black slacks and a short-sleeved dress shirt, as well as blue tartan check necktie. Excluding my somewhat longish hair, I should be the very image of a student. I guess it's a little difficult turning into something like that all of a sudden. But it's probably precisely because this is difficult that I've decided to give it a try. For a while, I myself didn't understand why I'd ask for this. But now, I think I have a faint grasp on the reason. I wanted to become something that I couldn't understand, something that I wasn't. At the moment, I'd done nothing but smooth down my edges a bit. Perhaps later on, I'll become a student on the inside as well. The sun that had been climbing upward earlier has now finally reached its zenith. The temperature keeps on rising and sweat oozes from my skin. I was pretty sure she'd pick me up, but... Sensing a presence, I lower my gaze from the sun. My eyes, well accustomed to high-contrast lighting, project a human form in silhouette for only the briefest of moments before the details fade in. Oh, look, it's the principal. Thank you for your service. What did I do? A woman raising an awkward salute, grinning broadly, stands before my eyes. Spare me, I don't want to see a pose like that outside the workplace. At the first place, what's with this doopy salute? The girls in bikinis of the Maritime SDF recruitment posters have more impressive form. Okay. Here I am offering my appreciation for your sudden efforts. Oh boy, really? I don't recall contributing enough to society today to deserve any appreciation. She opens the door of the car, stopped next to her. Yeah, true enough. From Mishima Cape Police Station to National Highway 133, southbound. We proceed to the prefectural highway. It's hard to always say that one because that's like that's the way they like separate their regions, is to say prefectures. And I'm not used to saying that word. And advance further out towards the cape. A range of slowly rotating wind turbines come into view, indicating our proximity to the sea.
時間になっても現れないし、これは何かあったんだって連絡したら案の定警察の厄介になってるし。
Not our fault. They dragged us in there.
この暑さだから熱射病で倒れてるのかと思っちゃった。
I doubt you really thought I was sick.
どうしてそんなことが言えるの？
You were trying the police stations first, not the hospitals.
そりゃあなたのことだからぶっ倒れる前に何とかするとは思ったけど、
Very good point he made
一
there.
応体のこと気遣ってるんだから素直に聞けばいいのに。
Accuracy in weather forecasts and interpersonal communications make society run smoother.
可愛くない。
Could I? Oof. Pouting again, she continues her harangue.
第一、ここにだって本数は少ないけど電車は通
Never
っ
heard
てる
that
ん
word,
だから、
but
それ
okay.
で来ればよかったのに歩いてきちゃうんだもん。
There was
そ
a-
れも聞いてびっくりしたのよ。ヒマラヤにでも登るような大荷物背負ってるって。
Sorry, I just hate trains.
だからって歩いてくるなんて常識外れよ。どうしたの？黙っちゃって。
Could you not mention this to the other students? I don't want them getting funny ideas about me from the get-go.
変なのが来たって警戒されるかもね。確かに。
Just like what? I don't even know how many people are actually in this school. From what the anime showed, there was only the girls that we saw in the anime, but I feel like there should be more than that. I got enough of that from the police to last me a while.
やっぱり職質受けてたのね。
I mean, we're a random dude walking with a giant backpack on our backs, walking alone.
はい、着いたわ。ここよ。
Yeah. This is a weird angle. Did they try to give us fan service here, or are they just giving us a weird angle here? I'm pretty sure they're not aiming for the low shot thing that you would normally do for like cinematography and stuff. I don't know. It just seems fancy. I don't know why they did this angle. The car proceeded about 500 meters along an area of reclaimed coastal land before she brought it to a stop. So that's what he meant by landfill. I see. As I'm recalling the words of the detective from before, the woman continues our conversation with a suddenly cheerful tone.
どう？立派でしょ。この近隣の学校の中では一番新しいのよ。
It's the newest school in the vicinity, yet it's called a landfill. Quality. Very nice. Barely even looks like a school. Actually, kind of is an interesting looking front door there, or gateway there. Although I'd heard it was a new school, its internal appearance genuinely isn't what I'd expected. A 3-story building, the pure white color of the outer walls. Wait, no, I just went straight up there. A 3-story building. The pure white color of the outer walls is the only typical school-like element, with every other aspect more closely resembling a city office building. The gates to the right and left are less evocative of a school gate than a functional fence at some facility. The mounted signboard likewise is a utilitarian thing printed in a simple typeface rather than a hand-drawn work of calligraphy.
これからここがあなたの母校になるのよ。感慨深くない？
I've only just arrived at this place. If I said I was deeply moved by the sight, it'd be a lie.
恥もそっけもない。人間想像力が大事なのよ。
With an exaggerated sigh, she opens her hands wide in an overblown gesture of a third-rate actor. Ooh.
新設校だからあまり学校のイメージがないかもしれないけど、学生だってちゃんと普通のいい子たちがいるのよ。だから。
Which one's this? This is Kane, right? Michiro. Oh, hi, English. Rickamore is abruptly interrupted by the high school pitch of shrieks of 2 girls.
やめなさい、マキナ。やめなさいって。お願いだから。お願いだから。
That's a mane, right?
なんで逃げるの？セミかわいいよ。
Kawaii.
虫は大嫌いなのよ。
Oh, I forget her name. It's not Michiru, because Michiru's the blonde-haired girl.
助けて。
Michiru, Akane. That didn't sound good.
むせ返るほど笑ってんじゃないわよ、マキナ。
Makina, thank you.
あんた、後で覚えてなさいよ。おやつ抜きにする。
Thanks, Amane. That's a way to make a first impression. English. Oh, that's alright. That's a great start.
その
Oh, wow. I mean, that's kind of normal, I guess. Nah, I'm kidding. It's not normal at all. Normal? Could you define that term? Is there a class where we chase each other around brandishing insects?
違うのよ。あの子たちはそのわかるでしょ？
I realize I've been saying her name is Akane, which is not the word I'm supposed to be using. It's Amane. I'm gonna have to get these names down again. You can clearly see how I don't remember character names that well. They have to leave a lasting impression in me in order for me to remember them. I don't think I do, but it's nice to see that it's a lively school.
でしょ？とりあえず行きましょうか。中に。
Having apparently forgotten what she was planning to do with her outspread hands, she totters through the school gate. I think anyone would forget that too. But, alright. Do I have a pause for this? Ah, cool.
セーブするわ。
Save it shimasu. Okay, cool. I know how to work that. Cool. Alright guys, that'll be it for this episode of Grisaia, I think. I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong every time I feel like. Grisaia. Because in Japanese alphabet there's no G-R-I. It'd be, the closest thing I'd see would be Grisaia. Anyway, that'll be it for this episode. Hope you guys are going to be interested in seeing this series as it goes on, and I will see you in the next live stream or video that I do. Until then, guys, I'll see all you guys again later on.